Welcome, everybody, to our Sunday morning gentle yoga class. We're going to start on our back. When the studios are already there, you can come there whenever you're ready. Start to let yourself arrive. Let your breath guide you, ground you to your mat. So you don't need to control your breath just yet. Right now, you're just noticing your breath, just observing your breath. Letting it take over, letting it push all the other distractions out. So you're here, just focused on your mat, your practice, present to your mat, your practice. Let that breath kick in. When you're ready, you can control it a little bit. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Close your mouth. See how that feels. Let your breaths become longer and slower and deeper. I want it to be where you're inhaling, you're pulling that breath all the way down to your belly. As you exhale, you're pushing it all the way out. But you never want to force a breathing pattern on your body. If this doesn't feel comfortable to you, doesn't feel right, if you're not sure what I'm even talking about, right, you don't have to force any sort of breathing pattern on your body. Just inhale and exhale when it feels natural, right? And become aware of your breath. Know when you're inhaling, know when you're exhaling. That will allow your body to just find a rhythm from there. When you're ready to start moving, right, here's what we're going to do. Everybody's going to bend into their knees. Put your feet flat on the ground. All right. Now, you want to take your legs out wide so that your toes are on the edges of your mat. Let your arms go out long, like wings, in a T position. And we're just going to drop our knees over to the right. Let your chin and your gaze go to the left. I want you to hold this one for like 2 breaths this first time. Right? Your knees might not even hit the ground. They're wide, your arms are wide. Just start to wake everything up. Bring your knees back up to center, and then let your knees drop over to the left. Hands stay where they are. So now you're looking over your right shoulder, just letting those knees come to the left. Now from here, bring your knees back to center. Right now, take your feet, hug them in to your chest. Right? Maybe you lift your head and shoulders up and push your forehead towards your knees, and maybe you let your head and shoulders stay down. Good. And then from there, you're going to extend your legs long, and you're going to bring your arms overhead, right? So we're going to that total body extension. Now you can have your heels on the ground, you can put the back of your hands rest on the ground, or you can hover everything if you're ready for that and you want to make this a little more active. Up to you, right? So we're taking that deep stretch here. And then from there, you're going to take your hands and your feet both straight up to the sky, right? So it looks like this. And then you're just going to bend into your knees. Grab a hold of your ankle or your shin or your knees, right? So you're just in kind of this loose happy baby, right? And then maybe take a couple rocks here. And then from there, you're going to release your feet, put them back down on the mat, and take your arms out long again, all right? So that's our whole little warm-up flow. Right, so your knees are up to the sky, your pinky toes are at the edges of your mat, your feet are planted to the ground, arms are out in that T position. As you exhale, your knees are going to drop to the right. As you inhale, they're going to come back to center. As you exhale, they're going to drop to the left. As you inhale, they come back to center. From here, you take those knees, bring them all the way into your chest, curl up in that little ball, or you can keep your head and shoulders down, making it more relaxed. And then from there, you open up into that TBE, letting your arms and your legs go long. And then from there, both the feet and the hands reach up to the sky. And then start to bend into your knees until you can grab onto your ankle or your shin or your knee. Drop into a happy baby. Take a couple of rocks. So we'll see that a couple more times through. You're going to release your legs. Let your feet go wide on the mat again. So you're in that wide position. Take your arms out to a T. Drop your knees to the right. Bring them back to center. Drop them to the left. Bring them back to center. Take your knees all the way into your chest. Hug into that little ball. And then extend everything long. Hands reach overhead. Feet reach towards the front of the room. Bring both your hands and your feet straight up to the sky. And then bend into your knees. Grab your ankle or your shin or your knee. Come to your happy baby. Rock back and forth. All right, we're going to do that one more time through. So you drop your feet to the ground. Your feet are wide to the edges of your mat. Knees are up to the sky. Take your arms out to a T. Knees go to the right. Come back to center. Go to the left. Come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Go into that ball. And then extend everything along. Open up. From there, hands and feet both go straight up to the sky. And then bend into your knees. Grab your ankle, your shin, your knee, your foot. Come into that nice loose happy baby. Take a couple rocks here. Don't worry, we'll do this again later, right? Right now it's just helping us open everything up. All right, eventually here, now you're going to bring your knees into your chest again. Then you're going to take your hands to the crease of your knees. Rock yourself up to a seated position. Come around into a tabletop. That's that hands and knees pose. You've got your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Take a couple cat-cows here. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop. That's cow pose. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow out your armpits. That's cat. So just keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So you can be going faster or slower than me through these, right? Just find your own rhythm here. Take the rhythm of your breath. Match your movements to it. Eventually, we're all going to meet back here in neutral tabletop. Now this time, as we get to neutral tabletop, you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come into your first down dog of the morning. Fingers are spread wide like starfish, pointer fingers in front of the mat. You're pushing your belly back toward your upper thighs. You can add some movement here if you want to. Bend one knee, then the other. We call that walking the dog. Maybe you're going to sway your hips from side to side. Maybe you're just staying still. Take this time to check in with your body. See what's going on. What feels good so far this morning? Like you can really push forward. What doesn't feel great? What do you need to hold back? Make sure you're listening to your body as we go through the rest of this practice. All right? Now, when you're ready, just bend your knees slightly. Look between your thumbs. Bring your feet towards your hands. Come to forward fold. Right, so now your belly's touching your upper thighs, your head's hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. As we inhale here, we're going to take a half lift into monkey. Just pull your shoulders even with your hips. As you exhale, fold back down. As we inhale, take a big reverse swan dive. Come all the way up to standing. All right, we're going to do our basic swimmer spirals today. Some of you have done these a lot. Maybe some of you haven't done them for a while or ever, right? Here's what we do. As you exhale, you're going to take your right hand, sweep it back behind you. Take your left hand, reach it in front of you. Right? So you're twisting open towards the right side of the room with your arms open. Now you're going to drop your right hand to your right thigh. Maybe it's on your right glute. Maybe it's down to your knee. Take that left hand, reach it up and over your right shoulder, and look over your right shoulder. Right? This is how we're spiraling to the right. Now we're spiraling to the right here. Now you're going to swim, right? So it's like you're taking a swim. You swim all the way around so that your left arm reaches behind you and your right arm reaches forward and twisted towards the stability balls, or towards the left side of the room, right, if you're at home. Now, take your left hand, let it come down along your left thigh. Take that right hand, reach it up and over your left shoulder. Now we're spiraling to the left. Now we're going to swim again, but this time as we swim, we got a little extra stroke so that both arms end up overhead, right? Once both arms are up overhead, drop them into cactus arms. Bend your elbows, open your chest. And then we're just going to take a back bend right here. Push your hips forward, take your chest and your gaze up. Your palms start to face the ceiling. As you inhale and come up tall, take your arms, bring them up overhead, reach them long, lengthen out again. And then exhale, swan dive it all the way back down into your forward fold. All right, so that's our basic sun salutation today. We're going to do it twice more. Now that you guys have seen it, we're going to move a little faster. We're going to move with our breath. So as you inhale, take a half lift monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, bring it all the way up to standing. All right, and then as you exhale, take your open arm twist to the right. Right hand back, left hand forward. Drop into your spiral, let your right hand come down, take your left hand up and over your right shoulder. Take your swim, go all the way around so your left arm is reaching back and your right arm is reaching forward. Drop your left hand to your left thigh, right hand goes up and over. We swim again, this time both arms end up overhead. Drop into your cactus arms, open your chest, and then sink into your back bend. Hips forward, chest and gaze up. Inhale, come up tall, reach up overhead, and then exhale, swan dive it, back down, forward fold. All right, we're going to do that one more time through. So inhale, take a half lift monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, open arm twist to the right, right hand back, left hand forward. Drop your right hand, reach that left hand up and over into your spiral. Swimming around to your open arm twist on the left. Drop your left hand down, reach that right hand up and over. Swimming around until both arms are up overhead. Now drop into cactus arms and take your back bend, hips forward, chest and gaze up. Inhale, come up tall. And then as we exhale, we swan dive all the way back down into forward fold. Now from your forward fold here, we're going to take some twists. You're going to keep your right hand, or sorry, your left hand planted on the mat. Take your right hand, reach it up to the sky, right? So we're just taking a twist from our forward fold. Push that right leg straight, let your left knee bend. Once you feel that stretch, go through your right leg. Now let that right hand come down, switch it out, plant that right hand, take the left hand up to the sky, twist to the left. Push your left leg straight, put that bend in the right knee. Fold back down here, come back to forward fold. Now, from here, bend your knees, send your hips back and down. Start to look forward, right? Your hands are still on the ground. And then you're just going to take your right hand to your right knee. I took my left hand to my left knee, it doesn't matter, right? Then take your other hand to your other knee. So we're here, right? So you're crouched low, your hips are going back, but you're leaning into your hands a little bit, right? You're looking forward, but your chest isn't lifted. Right now, from here, keep pressing into your left knee. Take your right hand, reach it up, and then drop it back down. Press your right hand into your right knee, lift your left hand up. That left hand come down, both hands on the knees, press into it, right? So your chest is pushing forward. And then from there, just straighten your legs and drop your hands back to the mat. Come to forward fold. Now this time, as we come to our forward fold, you're gonna keep your right foot forward. Take a big step back with your left foot. So we're coming into our runner's lunge here. All right, let your left heel drop down so your left toes point to the left. You've got that deep bend in the right knee right over the right ankle. We're gonna rise up and come into our warrior one here. So just pulling your upper body up off the mat. So turn your hips toward the front of the room. You bend in the right knee, reach your hands up high. Square your hips off, come into our warrior one. Now, you're gonna bring your hands together, pull them to heart center, push your right leg straight, bend into your left knee, and just come here into your Skandasana to the back, right? So you're bringing your left elbow towards your left knee. If you want to make it really low, you can, you don't have to, right? Your right leg is straight right now, but your right toes are still pointed towards the front of the room. Now we're gonna come up here, you're gonna push through that left leg, push your left leg straight, take both hands up to the sky, turn your right toes towards the left side of the room, right? So we're here in this 5-pointed star, facing the left long edge of your mat. Lengthen everything out, reach your hands up high, make yourself as tall as you can, right? And then from there, turn your right toes back towards the front of the room. Right now we're gonna come around, you're gonna bend back into your right knee. Drop your hands down to the mat, right? And then let your left toes turn towards the front of the room. You're gonna drop down to your left knee. Let your left foot flatten. Right, we're gonna rise up here into our kneeling crescent. So you're just gonna peel your upper body up. Take your hands up to the sky. Your right knee's right over your right ankle. Left leg's going nice and long, right? Left knee is behind your left hip. Just said that before we came up, right? But if you're feeling a lot of pressure in your left knee, maybe you want to move it back a little bit. All right, now we're just going to take it to our basic half pyramid here. That means you're going to push your right leg all the way straight, let your right toes flip up off the mat, and then drop your hands down on either side of your right leg and fold over your right leg. Now you're pushing your hips back here, right? But you're not sitting down on your left heel. You leave a little bit of space here so we just start to feel it as I stretch that left hamstring. Now bring it back here, bend back into your right knee. Bring it all the way forward. And then from here, right, you're gonna keep your left hand planted on the inside of your right foot. Kick your left foot over to the left just slightly. You're gonna step back with your right foot. I'm gonna come back to the camera. It's okay, right? I'm just coming into a modified side plank. So your right wrist should be even, or your left wrist should be even with your left knee. Your left knee is even with your right heel. Right toes are pointed toward the right side of the room. Reaching up high. Now, let your right hand come to your right hip. Right? And then pick up that right foot. You're just going to swing it back around. Maybe you can make it in one big swing back to a kneeling runner's lunge, right? Maybe it's got to kind of walk along the ground in a little spiral to get back, right? And then eventually you come all the way back. Now, let your right hand drop outside your right foot. You're back in your kneeling runner's lunge. We're going to come off the left heel here. This is what we're going to do. Or left heel, left knee. Right, you're coming off your left knee. Take a little step forward with your left foot. I want you to shorten your stance. Let both legs go straight. So you're pushing your hips back so that right leg can straighten. And then just lower yourself over that right leg. So now you're in a full pyramid. Right, if you can't get both legs straight, shorten your stance. You want your stance to be as short as it needs to be here. Right, it's important for the next couple things we're going to do. So think about drawing your right hip back. You're pushing your left hip forward, squeezing your inner thighs together. Right, once you're doing all that, maybe you can take your hands and let them sweep back behind you. And maybe you just take them and interlace them behind your body, right? Maybe you can grab opposite elbows. Maybe you can do the full reverse namaste hands where your palms press together and your pinky fingers rest in your mid-back. Right? Now, we're going to lift up just halfway. Right? So your chest is parallel to the ground. Right? Keep squeezing those inner thighs together. And then see if you can turn towards the left side of your mat. Right? So it's like your right shoulder is coming down towards your right knee. All right, now from here, turn back towards your right leg. Release your hands, let them come down on either side of your right foot. Now here is where, if we want to, we can use the block, right? Because you're gonna keep your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Right, so here I've got a block here, so my left hand is way up. It doesn't have to go all the way down. And then I can just take my right hand up to the sky. So left hand on the block, right hand to the sky, twist towards the right side of the room. There we go. So we're in this revolved triangle. And again, what we want to do here is keep our right leg straight. So you could shorten your stance even more with your left leg if you need to. Now, push away from the mat or the block with that right hand. You're going to rise up here, let your hips swivel towards the left long edge of your mat. Take your hands up to the sky and just grab your right wrist with your left hand. Pull back into Sky Archer. So let your hips rotate all the way to the left side of the room. Right, so just your right toes are pointed forward. You're just creating that space in the right side body. All right, now here you're going to release your hands. You're going to come back down into a runner's lunge. Right, this time as we get all the way down to our runner's lunge, we're going to let that left knee come down again. Right? And you're going to come back to that half pyramid where we were before. But this time you're going to see it's going to be a little bit different. Maybe you can do it, maybe you can't. Right? If you can let your left hip come all the way back to your left heel. Right? Your right toes flip up to the sky. Can't get that far back, it's okay. You're in a regular half pyramid. But if you can take the hip to the heel here, I want you to do that. And then fold over your right leg. See how it feels differently. Probably not as intense, right? Maybe more intense in your left leg. That full bend in the knee. Now we're going to bring ourselves up, right? Walk your hands so that they're right by your left knee. You're even with your left knee. And then you're going to press through your palms to bring yourself up, right? With their right parallel with your left knee. Because I don't want you putting all that pressure on your left knee to come back up, right? So your hands do the work. Bring you back into your runner's lunge here. All right, now once you get here, tuck your left toes under, go off your left knee. And just step that left foot forward to meet the right. Come back to forward fold. All right, so we're going to do all that again on the other side. All right, so here, we're going to twist again, but we're going to twist the left first because we're on the left side. All right, so you're down in your forward fold. Take your right hand, plant it. Maybe use your block here. Right? Take your left hand up to the sky. And again, you're pushing that left leg straight, putting a little bend in your right knee. Let your right hand float down, plant it, take your left hand up to the sky. Let that left hand come down and plant into your forward fold. And then for your forward fold, now this time we're going to keep the left foot forward and you're going to step the right foot way back behind you. So we're going to come to runner's lunge over here on the left. Make sure I'm on the camera here. So step back. Into your runner's lunge, left knee bent, right leg nice and long. Now you're going to drop down to your right heel. And then as we inhale, we're going to come up into warrior one on the left side. So that deep bend in the left knee. Turning your hips towards the front of the room, reaching your arms out long. I went to the wrong side. That's my problem here. I'm like, why does this feel weird? You guys are all doing it right. I'm just the other way. I want to be facing everything. All right, so we're here in our warrior one with our left foot. Now, you're going to push your left leg all the way straight. Right? Let your left toes turn towards the long edge of your mat. And you're just here in this full five-pointed star. I forgot to do this Skandasana. That's okay. We'll do it now, right? We're here in our five-pointed star. Reach up high, lengthen out your spine. Now, turn your left toes back towards the front of the room. Bring your hands together. Pull them to heart center. Now bend into your right knee and just touch your right elbow to your right knee. Now push through that right foot. Come back up. Right? And then your left toes are already turned towards the front of the room. So let your whole torso turn towards your left leg. Bend into your left knee. Drop your hands down to the mat. So coming into your runner's lunge on this side. All right, once you're here, let that right knee drop down to the mat. We're going to peel up into our kneeling crescent here. So you're going to let your upper body lift up. Reach your hands up towards the sky. You've got that deep bend in the left knee. Keeping the left knee right over the left ankle. Right knee back behind the right hip. You're reaching your hands up. Maybe you're leaning back with that upper body as the lower body keeps pushing forward. So you feel that stretch in your hip flexors. Right, now we're going to take it to our regular half pyramid here, right? So you're just pushing your left leg straight and letting those left toes flip up off the mat. And then you're dropping your hands down on either side of your left leg letting your upper body just drape over your left leg from there, right? So you're not pushing your right hip all the way down. You can push it a little bit further back if you want to see how that feels, right? But your goal here, you're trying to get that upper body to just drape over the left leg, move your nose towards your left knee. Feel that intense stretch in the left hamstring. Now, bend back in to your left knee, come back forward, right? Now here, you're gonna plant your right hand on the inside of your left foot, and you're kicking that right foot over to the right a little bit. So you can take that left foot, step it all the way along, coming into your modified side plank. Shoulders stacked, chest open towards the left side of the room. Now, take your left hand, drop it to your left hip. And we're going to bring that left foot back next to your right hand. Again, maybe you can swing it around in one smooth move, right? Maybe it's got to kind of take a little walk. Eventually, get back to our runner's lunge. You drop your hands on either side of that left foot. Now here, you're going to tuck your right toes under, right? Come up off your right knee. And then you're going to take a little step forward with that right foot. Push your left leg straight. Your right toes can turn out towards the right side of the room a little bit, or they can be facing totally towards the front of the room. But drape that upper body over the left leg. Right, so you should feel that deep stretch in your left hamstring. Both legs straight, both heels on the ground. The shorter you have to make your stance, well, not the better or the worse, just is, right? You want your legs to be straight, even if your stance is very, very short. All right, now let's lift up halfway here, right? So you're just peeling your chest out. Make your chest parallel with the ground. Bring the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Sweep your hands back behind you. And then maybe you just take your hands and interlace them behind your back, right? Maybe you grab your opposite elbows. Maybe you can get to that full reverse namaste. Now, you're at that halfway point. All you're gonna do here, right? You're gonna turn your chest towards the right edge of your mat. So that left shoulder drops towards your left knee. That right shoulder lifts. And then come back, turn your chest back towards the mat, and then let your chest drape all the way over that left leg again. Drop your hands back down to the mat. We're gonna come to that revolved triangle here if you want to. You can use your block, right? Your right hand's gonna stay just on the inside of your left foot, and your left hand is gonna go up to the sky. Again, you want your legs to be straight here. If you got to shorten your stance even more to make that happen, then you'll do that. And then we're going to push away from the mat with that right hand. Come all the way up, right? Turn your hips towards the long edge of your mat. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Pull back into Sky Archer. So your left toes are still pointed towards the front of the room. Your hips are to the right, creating that space in your left side body. All right, let's release our hands here. We're gonna come back down, bend back into your left knee. Drop your hands down on either side of your left foot. You're gonna turn those right toes forward again. Drop down to your right knee, flatten out your right foot. All right, so we're gonna try that half pyramid again. This time you're going all the way back, if you can, bringing your left hip over your left heel. I said left, right, I meant right. Right hip over the right heel. The left leg is long, right? You got it. Again, if you don't get all the way down, it's okay, right? You want to think about pushing that hip back. You might have to sit up. Maybe you can take it all the way down and reach toward your left foot. Another couple breaths here. Now, your hands are on either side of your right knee, right? So that you want them even with your right knee. So as you push in those palms, right, it's making sure that the knee doesn't have to do the work of bringing you up, right? So I got my right hand right next to my right knee. So when I push and I unbend my right knee, my right hand did the work of bringing me up, not my knee. Okay, come back to your runner's lunge. Tuck your left toes under, right toes under. Come up off your right knee. Step your right foot forward. Meet your left and come to forward folding. Right, so your belly's touching your upper thighs, your head hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Now from here, we're going to toe pull our feet out wide. Turn your heels in and your toes out. And then bend your knees and drop your hips. You can use your block here, right? I'm going to land on my block as I come down into the Malasana, which feels really amazing, right? If you like your Malasana without the block, nobody here today, right? That's okay, right? Then do it without the block. If it doesn't feel great with or without the block, then you're dropping all the way down to your glutes, and you're going to bring the soles of your feet together and come to your brown ankle. Okay? So you decide where you need to be. Wherever you are, close your eyes and just take a few moments here. Reconnect with your breath. Notice if you still have that full focus on your breath. Notice if you still have full control of your breath. If you lost either of those things while we were flowing, this is your chance to get it back. We're going to slow the breaths again, lengthen the breaths again. Deepen the breaths again. Let's take 4 more breaths here. Now eventually, we're all going to land with our glutes on the mat, right? So if you're on the block, come off. If you're in the squat, drop your hips. And we're going to come to a hook line, right? Looks like this. So we're just sitting, glutes are on the mat, your knees are bent, your knees are up to the sky, your feet are on the ground, right? So our core work here, really simple, right? You're just going to take, let's start with the right foot. You're going to take your right hand, bring your right arm to the inside of your right leg. See if you can grab a hold of the outside edge of that right foot, or maybe you're grabbing the inside edge of your right foot. Maybe you're hooking your paste fingers, your middle finger and your pointer finger around your right big toe, whatever feels good, right? You're going to kick that right leg up to the sky. Feels better to me if I grab the outside edge. I look like this. Now, from there, see if you can take that left leg and just extend it long. So your heel's on the ground. Really think about your left thigh pressing into the mat. So you just look like this. Now, bend back into your left knee, the left foot on the ground, and then gently bend back into your right knee, drop your right foot next to the left. All right, we're going to do that same thing going the other way. So again, you can grab the outside edge of your left foot, the inside edge of your left foot, or you can take your peace fingers around your left big toe. Right? We're going to take the left leg and kick it up to the sky. So once you've got that left foot off the ground, see if you can take your right foot and just slide your right leg out all the way so that your right heel's on the ground. You're pressing that right thigh down into the mat. All right, now start to bend back into your left knee. Drop your left foot down. Bring that right foot up. So come back to your hook line, right? Now let both hands go to the inside of your knees. You're going to try to grab on to both feet, right? We're going to try to kick them both up to the sky, right? So try it one at a time, right? I mean, you can where you lift your feet up to kick them both up together. If you are used to it, you can do that. But otherwise, right, maybe kick the right leg up first, just while you're holding on to the left foot, right? And kind of lean back, find that center of balance while your left heel is still on the ground. And then maybe you can lift that left foot up. Maybe you can kick that left leg straight, right? Maybe you can get your heels off the ground, but you don't unbend your knees. Could be here. It's okay, right? Find your spot. Where can you take it? Maybe you just have to do it one at a time, right? You let one heel rest on the ground as you straighten the one leg, and then you bring it down and do the other leg. And we're going to take 5 breaths here, wherever you are. It's okay. you're grabbing your feet, you're gonna release your feet, you're gonna bend back into your knees, right? So you're just gonna come into your regular, everyday boat. Right? And then from your boat, we're gonna lower it down to canoe. So turn it around here, just so you can see. All right, so I'm gonna lower so my shoulders are hovering the mat. I'm extending my legs to my heels are hovering the mat. Now you could be in a higher canoe, right? Maybe your feet are higher, and that's your canoe, right? This might be your canoe. But lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Right? Reach your fingertips towards the front of the room. The lower you go, the harder it is. Got 4 more breaths here. And then on your next exhale, let your heels come all the way to the mat. Let your head and shoulders rest on the mat, so you're just lying flat here. Right now. From here, you're gonna keep your left leg extended long. Just take your right knee, hug it in to your chest. Maybe make some circles with that right knee, right towards the inside of your body. Do a couple more. Take those circles towards the outside of your body, to the other direction. And then you just got that left knee, or right knee, sorry, hugged all the way in. But take your left knee, bend into it, put your left foot on the floor now. Right? And then let your right ankle come on top of your left knee. So let your right knee fall open. Make that little figure 4. We're going to come into a eye of the needle here. So you're going to pick your left foot up. So to draw your left leg towards you, you can take your right hand to the inside of your left thigh, your left hand to the outside of your left thigh. Grab around that left thigh and just keep pulling that leg closer in, right? You're looking for that sensation in your right hip. If you want to kick your left leg up to the sky, you can, right? If you want to keep it bent, you can. If you want to take your hands and grab around your shin, you can. You want that sensation going in the right hip. We're going to take 5 more breaths here. More breath. And then you're going to release behind your left leg. Now let that left foot float back down to the ground. All right, so now you're here, and that's still that figure 4. Now you're going to take your right knee, draw it towards the outside of your right shoulder. And then you're going to take your right hand, grab wherever you can on your right foot. And again, maybe it's the outside of the foot, maybe it's the inside of the foot. Right? Maybe you're taking those peace fingers around the right big toe. Maybe you're grabbing your ankle. Right? But you're kicking that right leg up to the sky here. And you're taking your left leg, again, all the way straight. Right? So you can put that bend back in to your right leg once you get there, right to your right knee. What you're really trying to do, right, is pull your right leg down. Like the right shoulder is going to touch the ground. Or your right knee. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. You want it to be like your right knee is going to touch the ground outside your right shoulder. Hopefully that makes more sense, right? You're taking that left thigh, trying to push it towards the ground. Now you can see me here. I didn't get my left thigh to the ground, but I'm pushing it towards the ground, right? I don't want that left leg floating around. And everything's engaged. Let's take 3 breaths here. Half happy baby. All right, and now you're going to take your right knee and just bring it all the way into your chest again. This time as your right knee comes into your chest, you're going to release that right arm, let it go out, leg away in that T position. Take your left hand outside your right knee and guide that right knee over to the left side of your body, right? Maybe you can get your right foot to the ground, so maybe you can probably get that right knee to the ground. I like to rest my right foot on the inside of my left knee. It doesn't quite get to the ground. But again, here you want to be feeling that sensation in the right hip, right? So if you're not feeling anything, you've got to get that knee and that right foot closer to the earth, right? But you don't want to force it so far that you can't hang out. Find your edge here. A few more breaths. If you can, you're taking your gaze over your right shoulder. right, now we're gonna take that right knee, bring it back up, hug it back into your chest with both hands. You're lying flat on your back, just hugging that knee all the way in, maybe angling it slightly towards your right armpit. And we'll switch everything out. Here, you're gonna let that right foot float to the ground. Take your left knee, hug it in to your chest. You can take that right leg, extend it long, start to make those circles with your left knee. First, towards the inside of your body. And then towards the outside of your body. And then come and stop here. Hug that knee in, nice and tight. Now we're gonna bend into the left knee. Or sorry, has the left knee on the right knee. Put your right foot on the ground. You're gonna take your left ankle on top of your right knee. So come into that figure four here. Right? And once you're in figure four, bring yourself into that. I have the needle, pick your right foot up off the ground. Take your right hand to the inside, or your left hand to the inside of your right thigh. Right hand to the outside of your right thigh. So you can pull that leg closer to you. And again, you can kick your right leg straight up here. You can take it all the way bent and wrap your hands around your right shin instead of your right thigh. Or you can just hang out with that bent knee, hands around the thigh. Trying to get that sensation going in the left hip. Okay, what makes you feel it more? Generally, the closer you pull the right leg to your body, the more you're going to feel it. Take 3 more breaths here. And you're gently going to release behind that right leg. And let your right foot come back down to the mat. Right? Now, you're going to take a hold of your left foot with your left hand, so your left arm to the inside of your left leg. Right? Maybe you're grabbing the outside edge of your left foot, the inside edge. Maybe you're taking those peace fingers around the big toe. Right? But you're going to kick that left leg up to the sky. It doesn't have to go all the way straight, right? Mine doesn't go all the way straight on this side, even at the beginning. Right? And then you're going to extend your right leg long. So you're pressing that right thigh down towards the mat. Now you're bending into your left knee. Now your left knee is going to come outside your left shoulder, right? And I'm trying to pull my left foot down, regardless of how much your left knee is bending or not bending. But I want that left, to imagine that left knee is going to touch outside the left shoulder. It's happy baby. You're pushing your right thigh bone down towards the ground, right? I'm even worse on this side. You can see air underneath my leg because my leg doesn't go all the way down. But it's okay, right? I'm not just hanging out here. I am actively pushing it down. 4 more breaths here. All right, and now you're going to take that left knee and hug it all the way in to your chest. All right, from there, take your left hand out long in that T position. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. And just let that left knee come across to the right side of your body. Maybe you can push it all the way down so that foot lands on the ground or the knee lands on the ground. Maybe they're hanging out. Like I said, I like to put my foot on top of my thigh, give it somewhere to land as I use my arms, a little bit extra leverage to pull that knee down further to get that further sensation in the left hip. Right now, you're going to bring that left knee back in. Hug it into your chest. And then let that left foot come to the ground. Bring your right knee up to join it. So now you're just back in that constructive breast pose. Feet on the ground, knees up to the sky. We're going to come to a reclining bound ankle here. So it just means the soles of both feet are going to come together as your knees fall open. So you're here. Now if you want to, right, you can take your arms to cactus arms or to a T. You can let your arms just rest at your sides or on your belly. You can always take your arms overhead if you want to open up your upper body a little bit. You can always take your hands and press them against the inside of your thighs or the inside of your knees if you want those legs to open a little more. So lots of different arm variations, whatever's comfortable to you. Right, the pose is for the legs. You want those legs to start to open up. If you want more intensity in the legs, you can draw those heels in even closer to your body. If you want to back it off a little bit, push your heels a little further away. Stay here for a minute. Let yourself settle in. Be somewhere. This is really comfortable to you. Now from here, pull your knees back up to center. Plant your feet on the floor. Now you're going to bring your hands to your sides, palms face down. All right, and as you inhale, press into all four corners of both feet. And lift your hips up to the sky here, so you're in this nice bridge. All right, if you want to here, you can take your block, right? Slide that block underneath your hips. Let it be a supported bridge. Right? Maybe you like it unsupported. So you're just using that strength in your legs to push your hips up. Either way, you should tuck your shoulders at least slightly. If you're unsupported and you want to make this really intense, you can work one entire shoulder then the other underneath your body, clasping your hands underneath your body. Right, lots of different options here in your bridge. The higher we push our hips, the more we increase the flexibility of our back. Right? So that's why we're doing this. If you're doing it with the block like I am right now, you're just using the leverage of the block to push the hips up. And if you're an unsupported bridge, you're using that strength in your legs to push your hips up. So that's why you have to engage the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings, right? Make those legs work for you. Take 4 more breaths here wherever you are. And then on your next exhale, you're just going to let those hips float down nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Now, if you still have that block under your hips, right, you can keep the block there for waterfall, right? Or your hips can be flat on the ground for waterfall. In waterfall, we'll let the feet go straight up to the sky, right? This time they're just going to hang out there. You're flexing your feet like you're going to step on the ceiling. If I do have a block under my hips, right, it just makes this slightly more intense because my hips are slightly elevated. So that's an option if you like it, right? You always have the option to go to full shoulder stand if you want it. In full shoulder stand, you lift your hips up on your own. Put your hands in the small of your back so that you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Now, if you do come to shoulder stand, your feet become kind of half flexed, half pointed. That allows the maximum blood flow. If you're down in any version of waterfall, you just flex your feet fully, soles of the feet towards the ceiling. We're sending that blood from the feet, where it pools all day, back to the head and the heart, where we need it more. So we'll allow for that to happen. So we're increasing that circulation, At the same time, we're also naturally decreasing our blood pressure. We're flooding our bodies with all sorts of anti-aging and anti-stress hormones. All the good things happen when we get ourselves a little bit upside down. So we've got to do it at least once a class, right? Now, when you're ready to come out of this pose, we're all going to come out of it the same way. You're going to bend your knees. Let them scrape along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. As your feet come back down to the mat here, now we're going to come into a happy baby. So if you still have that block on your hips, now you're going to take that block out. We all need to have our hips flat on the ground, right? And you're going to take both feet up to the sky again. Now this time, you're going to separate them maybe slightly or maybe a lot. You're going to bend into your knees, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. We're coming into our full happy baby here. Right? We did those half happy babies during our stretching section. We did those sloppy happy babies during our warm-up flow. Right? So here you got a chance to really get deep into it. You've got to make sure that your sacrum, the low part of your back, presses into the mat, right? So once you've made that connection with your hands and your feet, whether it might not be your feet, right? It might be your ankle, your shin, your knee, wherever you made that connection, roll forward so that you feel your sacrum, the low part of your back, press into the mat. And then you can start to rock it from side to side, and it should feel really good, like a little spinal massage. If the rock doesn't feel good to you, then you're not going to do it. You're just going to stay still. You want to find somewhere where this does feel good. Right? So maybe you have to change your leg position. Once you're there, you can make your legs wider, straighter, bend more. In more. Just find that place where it feels amazing to you, whatever that is. Hang out there for the next few breaths. All right, now from here, we're going to take the knees, hug them into your chest. And that one final hug into your chest. And let's start to set up for our final twist. You're going to take your arms out long, like wings, in that T position. And then as you exhale, you're going to drop your knees over to the right. So this time, right, I like that twist we did at the beginning. You want that left knee to stack right on top of the right? Everything's lined up. Get that supine twist, feel that twist in your spine. The right hand can press down on those knees. Bring them closer to the earth. That makes the twist deeper. If you want to extend your legs so that your toes go towards your right fingertips, that's an option too. But you want to keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. As you inhale next, bring your knees back to center. And then let them fall over to the left. Chin and gaze go to the right. Again, if you want to make it deeper, by pressing down with that left hand, or extending your toes toward your left fingertips, you can. Look over your right shoulder, keep that right shoulder anchored. We always finish off with this twist. It seals up our practice. Lets our bodies remember everything that happened today, so next time we can practice, it's all a little easier. We can go everywhere a little deeper. All right, as you inhale, exhale, pull your knees back to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And now let's set up for our final pose, our Shavasana. Right? Your traditional Shavasana, you just lay flat on your back. You don't have to stay there if that's not what you like. You can always bend your knees. Let your knees fall in against each other. You can butterfly your legs. You can roll to your side or roll to your belly. Just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still. Most importantly, you want to be somewhere where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. Those of you that are here in the studio, I'm going to come around and give you a little spray on your towel if you want that. Have your towel ready. If you're at home, you have a towel, put that towel over your eyes. Let yourself start to withdraw a little bit. If you don't have a towel, just close your eyes. You see the same effect. This is the sea salt. Those of you that are here, a little rosemary, a little bit lavender, a couple different kinds of citrus. Yeah. Thank you. Remember, once you're sinking into your Shavasana, you're not controlling your breath anymore. You're letting your breath go. Let it do whatever it wants to do. Just notice your breath. Observe your breath. complete focus there. Allow it to guide you. It can guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. And when you get there, that's your true quiet of the mind. Now slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling the increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms up overhead, do a nice full deep body stretch. And then from there, just roll over onto your right side in fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space, the sights, the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we will close here. We're going to close here just with our two Bhamari breaths and then an Om. The Bhamari breath, we inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat, and then the Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths, or you can just listen. But we'll close our eyes here and we'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you all on Wednesday night for some more yin. Eliza should be here tomorrow morning for some Payo. And if you need more gentle, Heidi's here tomorrow night at 7. So see you next week.